Chapter 2. Penny had not anticipated Curtis's sudden attack. Before she could react, he swiftly tore off her shirt and bra, then yanked her skirt and panties away with brutal force. Despite her efforts to fend him off, she was no match for his imposing size and strength. He weighed at least 250 pounds and stood over 6 feet tall. Her self-defense training proved ineffective against someone as formidable as Curtis, who felt as unyielding as steel and as powerful as an ox.
I didn't sign up for this,
Penny thought, feeling betrayed by the circumstances. When she chose to work undercover, she never imagined she would find herself in such a dire situation, especially not in such a literal sense. Although her experience had equipped her for various challenges, nothing could have prepared her for the reality of being pinned to a couch by a 230-pound brute intent on violating her. Despite her struggles, she was quickly losing the fight. He was simply too strong. His fingers tightened around her throat as he positioned himself between her legs. Tensing up, she gritted her teeth as he forcefully entered her. Exhausted, she lay there, feeling utterly violated. Her only glimmer of hope was the tracking device sewn into her shirt collar, and she prayed her colleagues would not find her in this horrific predicament. Detective Stewart had warned her against this operation, deeming it too dangerous and unpredictable. Yet, she had insisted on proceeding, and now she was paying the price. Penny knew she had to act quickly to free herself from this monster. The thought of submission crossed her mind. Perhaps giving him what he wanted would be the fastest way to escape. She despised the idea, but it seemed he was already getting his way. All she would be doing was hastening the inevitable. Throughout her years of undercover work, she had encountered situations where sex was part of the job.
It's just acting,
she reminded herself.
This is no different. I have to survive.
Closing her eyes, she began to play her part. Suddenly, Curtis let out a deep growl and collapsed on top of her. Penny struggled to breathe under his massive weight, feeling a sense of relief when he finally got off her. Feeling humiliated, she lay still, fighting back tears. Remembering the tracking device, she sprang up to search for her clothes, which were scattered across the floor. She found what she needed most, but as she checked her clothing, she noticed Curtis lighting a fire in the fireplace, despite the comfortable temperature inside.
Maybe it's part of some sick fantasy,
she thought. At first glance, her panties and skirt were beyond salvage. Both were torn and useless. However, her shirt had only lost a few buttons, and her bra had survived. Just as she attempted to fasten her bra, Curtis snatched all her clothes away.
You won't be needing this. I want you naked around here.
He tossed her clothes into the fire, and the thin fabric ignited quickly.
What the hell are you doing?
She exclaimed, lunging for her burning garments. With one swift motion, Curtis shoved her back onto the couch. Desperate, Penny tried again, determined to save at least her shirt. This time, Curtis was less gentle. He backhanded her across the face, sending her sprawling to the floor. In slow motion, she watched as he loomed over her, delivering punches to her head. Stars danced in her vision, the room spun, and then everything faded to black. When she regained consciousness, the fire had died down, leaving her clothes in ashes. She looked up to see Curtis sitting on the couch, casually drinking a beer. He noticed her stirring.
It's about time you woke up,
he said with a laugh.
I thought I had killed you.
But then his expression shifted to one of pure hatred.
Get up, unless you want me to drag your ass.
Naked and trembling, Penny stood up, trying to cover herself with her arms, but it offered little protection. She sensed the genuine threat in his words and felt uneasy about his earlier comment. Reluctantly, she followed Curtis down a hallway, her training kicking in as she observed her surroundings. The house was devoid of personal touches, no family photos, minimal furniture, and an unsettling cleanliness that suggested it was merely a hideout. They stopped at a door, and Curtis removed a heavy lock before opening it, revealing a staircase leading to the basement. He gestured for her to go down, but she hesitated until he barked,
"Don't make me push you down those stairs!"
Fearful, Penny descended the stairs. Once in the basement, she realized the gravity of her situation. There were no exits, no windows, and a large bed against one wall. The opposite wall was plastered with pictures of a naked young woman tied to a bed that looked eerily similar to the one in the room. A small nightstand held a TV, and a door led to a bathroom, but otherwise the room was stark. The bed was neatly made with black sheets and comforter, matching the black furniture above. The carpet was a light cream, and a floral scent lingered in the air, hinting at a plug-in air freshener. Penny thought to herself,
This guy is sick. If I don't find a way out soon, I'm going to be subjected to something horrific.
"Make yourself at home, my little toy,"
Curtis announced as he sat on the bed. In one fluid motion, he reached beneath a pillow and pulled out a large vibrator, tossing it onto the bed. He then picked up a small digital camera that Penny had not noticed before. Grabbing her arm, he pulled her down onto the bed and pointed to the wall covered in pictures.
"It's time to add to my collection,"
he said, gesturing toward the vibrator.
"Show me what you can do with that, unless you want to use this."
He laughed as he moved her hand toward his groin, but she quickly jerked it away. Penny felt trapped, with no escape in sight, at least not at that moment. In a daze, she slowly picked up the vibrator and began to act once more.